Frankie Edgar. What do we do about him now? Is he
Ooh.
done? Because, it's funny. I was talking to his coach, Mark Henry, and I said, how's he feeling? And he said, he's fine. He wins a fight. He has a million cuts all over his face, right? He's bruised. He loses like that. There's nothing. Of course, as we know, it's the internal in a fight like that, right? I mean, like this is obviously worse for the long term because you get knocked out brutally, out cold like that. It's going to affect you, especially at this age. Do we want to see him keep fighting?
We saw. I want to see. I do believe Frankie can still fight. No doubt about it. I think he can still go with the best fighters in the world.
I
But
agree.
does he
This was a
need to?
horrible
But
matchup.
does
They
he
shouldn't have
need to?
agreed to this matchup, I think.
Absolutely. But does he need to is the question,
Hmm.
right? You lose this fight against Cory Sandhagen. Look, you made your run at the top, right? You went to a new division. You fought two of the best in the world right away. You fought Pedro Munoz. Then you fought Cory Sandhagen. When you got to the very top of that division, it didn't work out in your favor. So there are still a lot of great fights for Frankie Edgar. I don't know if it needs to be against the Aljos and the Sandhagens and the Jans. I just don't know if it needs to be those fights. But can he still fight? Absolutely. He can absolutely still compete. I just don't know what the ceiling is at this new weight class because these guys are crazy. These guys are fantastic, man. But there's some fun fights out there still. Imagine if Dominic wins, right?
Oh,
Dominic wins against
Casey.
Casey, and you look at
By the way,
that.
if Dominic loses,
Yeah, I mean, I know, but I don't want to say if Dominic loses. Like, you should never put that energy in the world. Dom
I'm
gets
just
so
saying.
mad.
Oh
I'm just
no,
saying,
I'm just saying
Dominic,
it was a 50
you're gonna,
50
Dom's
chance.
gonna get you.
What?
Dom's
I'm
gonna
just
get
saying.
you.
No, I'm
No, I'm
saying
just saying, Dom's
it
gonna
would
get you. You
it would
can't.
make sense, right? I mean,
Yes,
the
it would
guy's
make
coming off.
sense. That's the fight that we've all. Oh man, imagine Dominic Cruz versus Frankie Edgar when they were both champions, right? Like,
Right,
or when, especially when Dom came to 45, or sorry, when Frank came to 45, Dom had the belt. It's like you
right.
had these ideas of these matchups, but that's not it
135.
though. There
Dom
are
was
many.
135 champ.
Dom was 135 and Frankie came to 145. You're like, oh,
Right.
well, maybe these guys fight at some point. But like, there are a lot of guys that he can still fight with. There are a lot of guys that he can still beat. A lot of these good guys he can still beat. But the very, very top, the elite of the elite, it's going to be very difficult for him to beat those guys. They're just, I mean, that was so scary, Arrow. I mean, you watch your people that you respect so dearly, Frankie Edgar, uh, Alistair Overeem. You see these guys get beat up like that at the end of the career, or knocked out in the way Frank did, and it's almost like a funeral. Like
Mm.
it's oh, if this showed Saturday, this showed Saturday to me what fighting looks like when you don't have the crowd to hide the true emotion of the people that are tasked with telling you about the moment. Because it was a small arena, nobody's in there. And when Cory Sandhagen did that, it was quiet, right? It was out.
Yeah.
We had to be
Eerie.
we have to be reminded. We have to celebrate what this young man just did. I understand it was horrible. It was bad, right, to see Frankie go out like that. But you guys have to celebrate what Cory did. If it's in an arena of 20,000 people, crowd's going so crazy you don't even pay attention to it. But it was eerie how quiet it got in that the Apex because of the way Frankie went down. He was shaking on the ground. He was down for a while.
Mm.
You could see him wanting to get up, but he just couldn't get his body to come to get back to the seat. It was scary.
I would still like to see him fight. I think he will fight.
Yeah, he
I thought
should.
it was a bad choice. I didn't like the matchup for him. Corey Sandhagen, I think, is championship material. Frankie was still building himself up as a 135er. There's a gap between Sandhagen and Munoz. Why jump from Munoz to Sandhagen? I mean, Sandhagen to me is like 1C in that division, but it sounds based on his Instagram that he's going to keep on going. I just hope when you take a knock like that, you take appropriate
Time.
time off. You don't go spar. You don't go to the gym. You need to get better soon. So I wish Frankie the best.
Well, you take time because remember, uh, Moraes, right?
Yeah.
Moraes,
Yeah. Came
Marlon
back too soon.
came back too soon, and Rob Font put him out, right? Like put him out bad. You got to let the brain refresh, and I think that's one thing that Stipe Miocic gets credit for. Every time he has tough fights, right? Got knocked out by me after fighting me quickly after Francis. Took a year. Took a lot of damage in the next fight. Took a year, and then against Francis, now he's taking a lot of time. It's much closer, but he allows his chin to get refreshed whenever he was getting rocked with punches too much. But I think Frankie needs to take some time. Even
In
though
Stipe's
time is not on
defense, I
his
don't know if
side.
he wanted to take a year after the first loss. If we're being honest, I think there were some other factors involved there.
Well, you
But your
wanted to
point
fight in
stands.
November. You wanted to
Yeah,
fight
he
me in
wanted to
November,
do
but
it.
then it took some time, right? Like it took some time, and ultimately it benefited him. It was better for him to let his chin refresh, and now he can take a shot. You know, it's like shots that might have knocked him down before doesn't, and that's good for him.